There are often mixed opinions about Rafael Leão. Some people believe his speed, strength, and skill make him one of the deadliest wingers in football. A true difference maker, the type of player to make something out of nothing. Others, however, say that he hasn't improved at all since the 2022 season, and that he's lazy. With such contrasting opinions, how good is Leão actually? Now Leão, he's never been a player that will wow you on the stat sheet, but from a young age, it was obvious he had potential. He joined Sporting's academy at the age of 9, progressing through the youth system. He made his senior debut for the Sporting B team on the 21st of May 2017. He actually ended up scoring in a 1-1 draw against Braga B. Leão debuted for Sporting's first team on February 11, 2018. Then he scored his first Portuguese league goal on the 2nd of March 2018 in a 2-1 loss to Porto, becoming the youngest player to score against Porto in a league match since 2001. During his time with Sporting, he actually only made 5 appearances, scoring 2 goals. As I said, nothing outstanding statistically to wow you, but his performances were marked by his speed, dribbling, and ability to exploit defensive gaps. In May 2018, however, following an attack on Sporting's training ground by fans, Leão decided to terminate his contract, saying that he doesn't want to play in an unsafe environment. This led to his free transfer to Lille in August of 2018. Leao's time in the French league in the 2019 season was a pivotal period for his development. The transition to Ligue 1 provided him a platform to showcase his abilities on a larger stage. He ended up making 24 appearances for Lille, scoring 8 goals. His contributions were so important because Lille ended up having a magical season where they ended up finishing 2nd in the league and qualifying for the Champions League. Christophe Galtier used Leão as a forward, either having him operate as a central striker or on the wing. His speed and agility allowed him to get by any defender and made him a constant threat in attack. The fact that he could also play across various different attacking positions gave Lille tactical flexibility. But again, only 8 goals in the league. Although his numbers maybe didn't jump out of the page, Leão had a lot of standout performances, like what he did to PSG on April 14, 2009 when Lille beat them 5-1. His impressive season with Lille attracted attention from major European clubs, one of those clubs being Milan. They liked what they saw, a 6'2" winger that is good on the ball and fast. That's an incredibly unique profile. On August 1st, 2019, Leão signed a 5-year contract at AC Milan for a fee of 35 million euros plus a 20% sell-on clause. From the Portuguese league to France to now one of the biggest clubs in Italy, Leão was playing on the biggest of stages. In his first season at Milan, Leão made 31 appearances, 19 of which came as a substitute. He only scored 6 goals and provided 1 assist, but again, showed many glimpses of his potential, such as his first goal for Milan in a 3-1 defeat against Fiorentina, as well as his performance against Cagliari, where he scored the opening goal in a 2-0 win. But while Leao's talent was evident, his debut season highlighted some areas of his that you could argue still need development. There was a lack of consistency, but hey, that happens with all young players. Their performances often fluctuate, having one great performance then following it with a mediocre one. Enhancing his defensive work rate was also identified as a key area for his growth. With all those in mind, Leão made significant strides in his development at Milan in the 2021 season. He appeared in 30 Serie A matches, scoring 6 goals and providing 6 assists. He also got a goal and assist in 5 Europa League matches. In the Serie A, he actually broke a record, scoring the fastest goal in Serie A history after scoring in just 6.76 seconds in a match against Sassuolo. Leao's contributions were super important. Milan ended up finishing in 2nd place and qualifying for the Champions League for the first time since the 2014 season. But it was really the next season that was the real breakout year for Leão. He transitioned from being a pivotal figure to the main man. He featured in 34 matches, getting 11 goals and providing 10 assists. He was awarded the Serie A Most Valuable Player, recognizing his outstanding contributions to Milan's success. He was playing unbelievable. In fact, was one of the biggest reasons why Milan jumped from being a runner-up the season before to scudetto champions. He had opened the scoring in the season with a long-range effort in a 4-1 win over Cagliari at the San Siro. In his 100th appearance for Milan, he got the decisive goal in a 1-0 win against Sampdoria, which put Milan to the top of the table. He then scored the winning goal in a 1-0 victory over Fiorentina, making him the youngest Portuguese player to reach double figures in a single Serie A campaign. And of course, he got a hat-trick of assists in a 3-0 win against Sassuolo, which secured Milan the Serie A title. Leao's exceptional dribbling ability, pace, and creativity was so important in breaking down defenses and creating scoring opportunities, both for himself and his teammates. He could play anywhere in Milan's attack and still be impactful. He wasn't just Milan's best player or one of the best players in the Serie A, he was one of the best players in the world. But since that season, many people feel that Leão hasn't actually gotten better. In fact, critics would argue that the inconsistencies have gotten worse. One moment he's going on an amazing solo run like what he did for his assist to Giroud against Napoli in the Champions League, then in another game he is non-existent, like his performance against Parma. Reliability and consistency has always been a criticism of Leao's game throughout his entire career. In fact, a lot of people argue that 2022 season was the only time where Leao was able to string together a bunch of consistent performances across an entire league campaign. But to be honest with you, a bigger issue that people have talked about is Leao's lack of involvement in defensive duties and off-the-ball movement. Even at his best, he showed a lack of effort in tracking back and supporting the team defensively. Arrigo Sacchi, the former AC Milan and Italy national team coach, has described Leao as a liability to the team's collective play, even though he's so individually talented. It's one of those things where if the team is playing well, nobody bats an eye. But if Milan is losing, then the first thing that stands out to people is Leao's lack of movement. He seems at times only interested when he has the ball at his feet. Even now, Fonseca has not been afraid of dropping him for matches. When is the last time you've seen a player with Leao's quality drop from the team, especially since Milan's attack relies so heavily on him? At the Euros, Leao's performances were underwhelming too, with critics highlighting his inability to actually do anything in matches. He even received 2 yellow cards for diving, leading to a 1-match suspension. No one doubts Leao's talent. It's so obvious whenever you watch him play, but there are areas in his game that need work. At his best, Leao is still at the same level as all the top wingers in the world, but he does need to improve his decision making as well as his off-the-ball movement. He also has to improve his consistency. When you look at a player like Vinny, who would be Leao's competition in the left wing position, he's consistent. Sure, he'll have some bad matches, but he has way more good matches and impactful ones than bad ones. Maybe a change in environment will help Leao. After all, Milan don't play the most fluid brand of football, and there's not a ton of talented players around Leao. But the Portuguese winger has to have the discipline and motivation to also want to improve himself. He has a combination of qualities that not many other players have. He's fast, he's strong, but he's also excellent on the ball. He can destroy even the most athletic of fullbacks. But it's about utilizing those qualities across an entire season, not just a few games here and there. Now, while Leao is the main guy at Milan, he has had help in the past few seasons in the form of his teammate Christian Pulisic. To see just how good the American has been, you have to check out this video right here.